All right, and I'm here with Beatdown Events, Holly and Malachi.
What's good?
Here.
What's good?
Beatdown Events.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you beating up?
You're
You're beating people with the metal
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
strictly for the people in the pit.
in the pit. Leave that to them.
Yeah.
The reason it sounds pretty heavy. Sounds pretty good.
It does sound heavy. Yeah, it does. It does for sure. So you guys started about last year.
Yeah, exactly a year ago now.
Exactly a year ago. Why did you guys want to make, specifically more hardcore metal, punk, alternative music gig promotion? Why did you guys want to? I know you play in a band, Screamed by Tulips.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, Holly plays in a band as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what was your band?
At the moment I'm in a band called Steel Wool, and I'm also in one called Quarterhead. I was in Buzz.
Okay,
but
I don't know
not
them.
anymore. But yeah, never heard of them. But yeah, question why do we start?
Yeah. Why did you guys want to start a particularly alternative gig promotion brand?
I guess if we take it to the start, we at Big Fan they have this program called Ignite, and we kind of saw it, or I kind of saw it. I applied, and I had a band before in like 2023, and that's kind of how I like became familiar with Holly. I don't really know
That's
her.
where we first met.
Yeah, but like we kind of knew of each other, and so when we did Ignite, there was all these people. We were both in the same like sector of it, like in the management, and so we were like, oh, we'll team up, and then since we both had a big interest in like the rock, like the alt scene,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember they would kind of like get into like groups and like choose who you're going to go with. And me and Malachi kind of just immediately knew we were into the same thing. So we just kind of decided we wanted to do more of a like heavies type thing. Yeah.
And that involves like all the types of like heavy music. Like I see some of you guys post. You got like some pretty like like deathcore, heavy. You recently did the Saving Grace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Very
it.
cool. Yeah, how was that? Talk about that.
That was
it was
awesome.
so good. I mean,
Was that last week?
It was
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Last
yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me about that. How'd that go? Saving Grace. It's a name that's been around for
Yeah.
quite a while. so-
literally every time
Well
I
done.
talk to anyone or like all the comments, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't heard this guy's name in ages. Like this is such like
Yeah.
I didn't know these guys were still around. Like, cause they're 20-year-old band, you know. But yeah, like we got of all our lineups, that's like the heaviest lineup we've ever had.
Yeah.
We had
Had
Parasitic, Pale Flag,
Flag.
and them, so it was like full on,
Yeah.
full on heavy.
No
full
one's
on
getting
hardcore.
a break. Just elbows and knees flying everywhere. Limbs.
I remember Malachi texted me and was like, "Oh my God, Holly, Saving Grace just asked to do a gig," and I was like, "Oh my God," it was so cool.
Yeah, that's really fun. It's cool. I think for like bands, like I think if I was in a band, maybe been around for that long, and you like a local band, you kind of come back, and then you're getting in touch with, like you get old man, suddenly you're out of touch. You're like, what are the kids doing? And then you're like, oh, let's get on all ages show, and so it's cool. Like I think I'm assuming they really appreciated it. So yeah, it's awesome. All right, so what do you love about organizing shows? Well, what attracted you to organizing them?
Well, at the time when I did Ignite, my initial like reasoning was because I was in a band and I wanted to get to know that kind of side of things. But like since then, like I remember the first one we did and the second one, it was just like really rewarding to like see all the people that come. And it's like you go out and it's just like everyone's having a good time. You're like, oh my God, we set this up. That's really satisfying. Yeah, that's why I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, when I was going to go to uni last year, but I couldn't save up enough money to go because I was wanting to go to Wellington. But I was already thinking about like getting in the music industry, and I kind of wanted to learn just like everything about it, but mainly putting on shows. And so when I did Ignite, like that was a huge step, and I just like really loved it since then. Like I love being in a band, but it's also like really cool just being able to, organize your entire own gig. All the bands you're organizing, like it's just like it's rewarding.
It's all the details,
Yeah.
the back end essentially of like organizing, like if it's like the venue to the times, the gear, you really get to know the ins and outs of it. And, you know, I think it's great as well if you guys wanted to keep doing music and that, because also with the event side of things, it opens up more doors for other opportunities as well. I used to do events for a little while, and it was really cool, like, as well. So you're seeing how everything works, you know, and try, like, how you can prep yourself so you don't fail, you know.
Yeah.
You know, poor preparation is well, you'll feel it on the day, which I'm assuming you guys have experienced now.
Luckily,
but everybody sort of goes through it.
Luckily, with Ignite, like, it was really good.
It's real good.
They taught us a lot, because it was 8 weeks before we actually, about 6 weeks before we put on our show. And then we got a mentor on top of that, personalized for what we wanted to get out of it.
Yep.
And so mine was a guy named Paul Brummer, and he does, like, all the A-tier rock shows. Like, he did Dylan Biscuit.
Oh, nice.
He did, what's it called?
Festival?
My mind is so blank right now, but the band Incubus.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. He did the live in Incubus show, and that was really cool because, like, he got me backstage. But yeah, like, we still keep contacts with all our mentors, I think.
Yeah. Mine was Lucy McRae from Dick Move. Yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, but this guy's met Slash.
Yeah, I did before.
What was that like?
It was actually wasn't as big of a meet as I don't know if it classifies as a meet, but I used to do like concert setup and pack down, and so that would just be like, you know, emptying the truck, setting up stage, all that sort of stuff. And I was doing Guns N' Roses, and I got given like a guitar case to take to a room, and they just said, oh, like, take it to Slash's room, and I'm assuming it would say Slash, but it literally just had a / on the door. Like, that was it. And so I go in there, and he's just like sitting there, like real like brooding nonchalantly. I put it there, and I can't remember, I don't even think he said anything. He just kind of like looked at me, and he was like, gave me an acknowledgement that I brought his guitar.
Just a nod. Like, you know, I'll leave that there. Okay. Were they good? Did you watch them play?
Nah, unfortunately, I left. Like, if you're doing setup, you leave before they play. But
yeah, it depends if you get to like help backstage, like operate something, right? Operate the gear.
Yeah, you get to a sound check, which is pretty cool. And literally, like, you're all up in the stage. Like, you see everything, all the build up. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really cool experience, especially on like a large scale like that.
Oh yeah, it was at Eden Park. I'm pretty sure. So it was just so huge. And this was before I was like, this was a couple of years ago, so I was still pretty immature in the gig scene.
Right. Is that the dream for you guys? Beatdown Events, organizing gigs at Eden Park.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I've actually, I've had a thought. I think we've talked about it once. Like, not really a proper, more of an idea that we want to do. Like, maybe a collaboration with all the other people that organize gigs as well, and doing like a proper festival type thing sometime.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah, that would be cool.
Bringing in the heavy bands for that. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, well, that's something else as well. You guys can put a spotlight on that, maybe more than like, because well, I don't really know many other apart from like the bigger festivals or mid-tier festivals that happen in New Zealand. Like, I don't really know of like, I'm assuming there's hip hop ones and all sorts around, but I don't know. I'm not really in touch with that scene. But that'd be cool. Imagine doing that, like, all come together and you just make it like a local like festival, like all different types, like Big Day Out used to be, you know? Yeah, because I used to do a lot of that, which was really, well, not like collabing with different promotions, but you have all like local acts and bands from like every genre. It's like homegrown sort of vibe, you know? Yeah,
I'm so sad Big Day Out's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, that was cool. I got to go to a couple.
I wish.
But those were great. It was a shame that Soundwave was another one I had the pleasure of going to in Aussie as well. That was sick. But I mean, just, you know, unfortunately, like, you know, like money, you know, like there's not enough money in it. And like, I think now as well, it's really tough to organize events, especially, you know, not just alternative music. It's happening in all different music genres. Like, there's quite a few pop artists who have come out and said that they're not making any money on tour. They're just trying to break even, you know. Venues charging a lot of money to taking cuts of merch, which is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah, even for the big artists,
Damn.
like they'll start taking cuts. I've heard it happen a little bit in the local scene, but that's just mental to me.
Yeah, we've never run into that.
Yeah, the only cuts that are like understandable would be if they're manning the stand, or if they're like
Yeah, if you're providing like labor to like sell it, and you're
think-
providing like FBOS machines and all the stuff.
I think I think Swampkult as well. Like they actually, I'm not too sure about this, but I'm pretty sure they actually do the work to get like the CDs made, to get the merch made, designs and stuff. Not for all of them, but I think some of them they've done. So like that would be the only understandable cut taking.
Of course, yeah, but that's the thing. It's just like well, in the UK, I wouldn't use New Zealand as an example of like, you know, we obviously got venues shutting down there, but we are very small. But like in the UK, you know, which has like an absolute, especially in London, has like a bustling music scene. There's like venues shutting down left, right, and center. It's real scary. So it's hopefully like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it comes down to economic times, but hopefully it'll, you know, I reckon it will come back. I think times like this, especially for alternative music and heavy music, this is when people need it the most. So I also think that's why I think this sort of scene's starting to take off a bit again. I think people are a bit angry, which is good. And it means a lot of like cool, like heavy. I've never like, it's great. I think social media has also helped a lot. I think now that it's really easy to access what bands are doing, and bands now, you know, being an artist, you have to be active. Whereas before on Facebook, you could kind of just like post like your gig or like the release post, but it's not very interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're kind of like, well, double-edged sword. Be a content creator, but then at the same time, people can get to know you more.
Yeah.
You know, get to know what you're up to. And then, you know, people do like that, but it is more work.
Yeah, that's kind of like us. We haven't even started a Facebook page yet.
Yeah,
No,
no, we haven't.
You guys, I don't even know if you do need to start a Facebook page these days.
I mean, it was even with Saving Grace. I only found out they made a Facebook post like a couple days before.
Right.
I'm just not on there.
Yeah, me too. I only saw that like, a little long ago.
Yeah, Facebook is, I don't know. Like, I use it, I mean, a little bit for, like, events and stuff, and that's it. And I use Messenger to chat to my friends. I'm assuming you guys do still use Instagram and stuff to chat.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram groups and stuff.
Yeah.
But organizing events and inviting people to events, like Facebook's really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like, Instagram doesn't. It'd be good if they had the feature, because then, yeah.
We do want to start one because there's obviously like a whole nother crowd.
Yeah,
to
there's a lot of
market
like groups as well. Like you have all like the middle alternative groups you can like tap into as well.
Yeah.
Whereas on Instagram, like it's not really meant for that. So
Our Instagram, like, it mainly gets all age, like the all age crowd.
Sure.
Which is, I guess, that's our main,
of course,
our main audience. So it hasn't really been too much of an issue for us, but we do want to like kind of build a step up.
Yeah, broaden it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine Facebook would have some older users.
Yeah, the old people, man. Those old people with Facebook accounts. Yeah, yeah. Do you guys use like TikTok and stuff? Like put up some little vids on there?
Not with Beatdown.
Not for Beatdown.
Not for Beatdown?
But
we probably should.
we probably should. But yeah, we will do that
Yeah.
soon.
I guess it's just been like, it's actually really easy to manage a social media account. I don't know why. I think we've just been a bit lazy making a TikTok. Just because then you actually have to put a little bit of effort into your videos.
A little bit of effort, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can also, I don't know, like, I think you can kind of do what you want with it, right? You can make it as professional, just like a quick, like, hey guys, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think I used to overthink that stuff a lot when I used to start. I used to not like doing it. It took me a while to get onto like social media. Like now I do quite a bit of posting, but before I was like, like I don't want to do this. You know, put myself in front of a camera, etc. And I was just like, I have to get over that because otherwise it's not going to happen. So you have to kind of like, I think if you guys do that, like you'll probably see like some good results from it. And people get to know you. People like doing that a lot more. Like
Stay
get to know you.
tuned for the Beatdown TikTok.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Coming up.
Yeah. Very good. What are some upcoming bands in the all ages scene you guys are excited about at the moment?
Well, Sprawl.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Genuinely, they're doing some cool things.
I am. It's great for someone like me because they're just playing music that I used to listen to. But the music is cool. I like them.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, 3 of them literally study music, so it makes their sound so much like more
complete.
Yeah, more complete. It's like you're listening to a whole like, what's the word? Experience. It's like a whole experience band, and they're just like every time we've had them on a couple shows, but
pretty much the majority of the shows, actually.
Majority.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it because their sound is so good, their performance is so good, and like, yeah.
And I remember when I was like 13, I would like always wish there'd be like a new metal band in the scene.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, there used to be some. Oh, sorry, you have to move a little bit closer to the microphone. Cheers.
Cool.
Yeah, there used to be. I mean, I used to be in a new metal band for a little bit called Broken Season, but that broke up a long time ago. So, but yeah, they kind of, there's not as many of them.
Yeah.
Because generally, I talked to like Sprawl about this on here, but most of the bands in the metal scene that come up is about the metalcore, some thrash metal, and then there's like some real heavy like death metal, like even like borderline grindcore stuff, which sort of, it's always just kind of like there.
Yeah, I love Parasitic Infestation.
Oh yeah, they're heavy as shit.
They're so cool. Yeah.
I have to come check them out sometime.
Yeah, I know. We unfortunately couldn't get it on the Saving Grace one, but at the part 3, they brought this hard drive. It was like, I think 6 gigabytes worth of like video and stock. No, it was like proper. Oh, I think it was a mix. Yeah. But they had like so much videos. They had like videos for every song. And it was like, it was so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it does make a big difference for a band if you think about your live stage production a little bit more, how you can stand out a bit. People remember that shit.
Yeah, we recently like started doing it. I think it was. Did we do it for part 1? I think we just part 2A.
For the slideshow. That was just part 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So ever since part 2. We started using the projector at Big Fan.
Yep.
And we telling people like, you know, like we just do a bass slideshow. We'll have, you know, Big Fan Beatdown part 2, part 3, and then we'll have your band logo when you're playing or anything else you want. And like later Chelsea review done. They did like, was it Skate 3 footage?
Yeah, I think they did Skate 3, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And then Exercise did like Elden Ring footage.
Oh no, they did. Wasn't it? Was it Dark Souls or was it Elden Ring?
Oh yeah, Dark Souls or
I don't
Elden
know
Ring.
which,
one of the two, but it was like you're listening to this heavy music, and then you just look up to the right, and there's just Elden Ring. It was just such an experience.
It adds a lot though. It does add a lot of vibe, you know. So yeah, that's really cool that you guys are doing that. The videography, adding element, cool. Because the bigger venues in that, you can do that as well.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
You know, and then there's more room to have like a whole experience rather than but. Yeah, it's cool doing that in the metal scene, alternative scene, rather than just like, because for ages, I mean, like when I was doing like metal shows and stuff, if there was Zeal, that was a big thing, but I don't think that's really a thing anymore, like the Zeal scene as much, like for all ages shows and for metal bands to play, because that was like a little bit more like, that was like the promotion essentially, like they would organize all the bands.
Yeah. I guess now it's Swampkult. Like
well, there's a lot of, and also you guys, and then like there seems to be a little bit more like more organization going on. Because then for a while, like 10 years ago, it was just like bands organizing it. That was all it was, and the scene was a bit dead, and not dead, but it was quiet. There wasn't much happening. Like there'd be like I don't know. It wasn't like live music was going, but it just was a bit. I don't know. There wasn't much buzz around it as much, whereas now I feel like there's buzz, but I think, I've said on here before, I think COVID's also a proponent of that, which is great. Well, good and bad, but for this situation, it's great. People want to go see live events. People want to go connect and be around. Yeah. And this episode is sponsored by me. Do you struggle with sleeping, and particularly struggle with light and sound while sleeping? I think it's time you get the sleep that you deserve. My business, Infinity Sleep, specializes in sleep well-being products to enhance your sleep quality. I've been using sleep masks and earplugs for the past 3 years to help improve my sleep, and I'm so stoked to finally have ones that have been created for my own sleeping needs. If you would like to learn more about my business, Infinity Sleep, please visit our website, www.infinitysleep.co.nz. By making a purchase, you are directly not only supporting a local Kiwi business, but also this podcast. Use the promo code ONLYSCOTT15% and receive 15% off your first order. Go to www.infinitysleep.co.nz to get the sleep that you deserve.
It's definitely been kicking off, like, if even just for alternative music alone, there's at least a gig a week.
Yeah.
Like every week.
And they're actually reasonably busy.
Yeah.
Like 30 people, 50 people, which for a local alternative gig is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So
I think it helps having so many bands in the scene.
There's a lot of bands.
There's quite a lot at the moment.
Yeah. there's so many local, and that's just Auckland. There's also like so many people in even like Wellington, Napier, Taupo, just all over New Zealand, and that's kind of partly why we started it.
Yeah.
Just to like showcase Auckland's music,
Yeah, because we've got just so many at the moment. It's just like a melting pot. Like it's just all boiling to the surface pretty much for all these bands, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So what are your guys for your guys' musical projects? What are your guys' musical influences?
You want to go first?
Me first? Okay. Well, I've always loved nu metal. Like, and recently I've been into really like post-hardcore, like screamo stuff.
Nice. Any band in particular?
Oh, well, recently I've been loving Bless the Fall.
Bless the Fall.
Like,
wow, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Recently, as in just as of this week.
Right. Yeah. Oh wow.
But my favorite band of all time is Stained. I
Stained.
love Stained so much. Those are like my core. Like, I love that kind of music. And I guess that's kind of what I'm doing with my band Quarterhead. Steel Wall is a bit more like chill, sort of just like alt rock, grunge type stuff. But I love that too. So yeah, that's for me at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I have favorites and I have like influences. So like, funny enough, one of my favorite musicians of all time is Steve Lacy.
Steve Lacy.
Like, and he's like full, pop R&B. Like, I'm a huge fan. But I'm also a heavy grunge guy. Like, all things grunge I love. Like, Stone Temple Pilots is probably one of my favorite bands of all time.
Alice in Chains.
Soundgarden. Yeah. Like, I idolized Chris Cornell for a little bit there. But yeah, I also pull a lot from like that nu metal scene, that Korn, System of a Down vibe as well.
Nice, a lot of 90s.
Yeah,
90s.
I'm very 90s rock. Yeah.
Yeah, Stained. Man, that's funny. I used to quite like them as well. And then they have like a bit of that country edge as well.
Yeah,
they do a bit of that.
I love Stained so much.
Yeah, that's buzzy. Oh, cool. What about newer, like apart from like local bands, what about any bands at the moment, like maybe bigger in the alternative scene at the moment you guys been listening to? Because I don't even really, what's like I guess, I'm trying to think, like, what are they called? The one who wears all the masks, that's not Slipknot.
Sleep Token?
There we go.
Oh, Sleep Token.
Yeah. Do you guys check them out?
I haven't listened to much Sleep Token, no.
I've listened to a bit. It's like, they have a range of stuff, and I like some of them. I like some of them. It might be a bit too much for me. Not on like the heavy side. It's just a bit too much for me to get into. Like, it's very like mathematical, if that makes sense. I don't know how, but that just fits.
Right.
Like, well, it's like a band. They're like almost Tool level of like thought process.
It's very like calculated.
Yeah.
Love Tool as well.
I mean, I quite like Amy Owl and the Sniffers. They're like the popped off Australian punk band.
Okay, I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, they popped off. They did a show in Auckland, a power station recently. They're like a real like girl punk rock. Like, it's really cool to seeing like punk coming back and like having a band that's punk and blowing up, like in this day and age, because you don't really see much of it.
Yeah, it's not the same as it. Well, punk rock's a funny one because it kind of comes in waves, like when it's popular. But at the moment, I feel like even with obviously all the streaming stuff, a lot of, if you get on the right playlist at the right time, like that's when these bands can do quite well. So I always find that it's a bit of a gamble, really. It's like which bands will kind of cut through a bit more because maybe they got added to that playlist and then people can see it more. Yeah, so streaming, once again, another double-edged sword. I've talked about that a lot on here, but that's another one that's like can be great, can be, you're kind of just adding, like a drop of water to the ocean, but at the same time, maybe you get lucky. So yeah, got to be everywhere. Do you guys listen to much? Do you guys buy CDs and buy vinyl or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a record player.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I buy vinyl. Not a lot, but just like because it's expensive. But...
It is expensive. That's why I don't have one. I feel like when I get a bit more money, I'm like, I'm gonna sink money in there.
Literally, that's my idea as well.
Yeah.
Like when I'm older.
My nana left me like a vinyl player and a sound system.
Yeah.
I haven't done much with it because I only got like a couple vinyl records. Just because like $50 a piece.
I know it's expensive, and you want to like you want to enjoy it as well. Have like a range of like your favorite albums.
I mean, I just love the process though. Like you can just, it's such a beautiful thing. you just like put a vinyl there, you put a CD there, you listen to the whole thing. And I know you talk about streaming a lot, but it's like it's a whole different experience listening to a whole album.
Of course.
That's being curated rather than just like your favorite songs.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes when you're listening to a playlist, you're just like constantly flicking through for like, you know, it's like dopamine, like flicking through. But then when you listen to like a vinyl, it's like you're forced to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, you got no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to sit through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's like great for discovery and stuff with the streaming and finding everything you want. But to have that like almost you setting aside like an event for yourself to listen to a vinyl and CDs for me, like I grew up on CDs, so I used to have shitloads, and especially like singles and like bonus tracks, and it was cool, but like for me it was just the convenience part. I was just like, oh, I've done that, and I was, CDs take up a lot of room, and then they get scratched, and you're like, oh. And then it was like, as would just happen a lot. Or you buy like the CD cases, like you put all the CDs in like these in like the sleeves, and then they would get like a bit scratched, and it was just like, ugh. Yeah. So you had to re-buy them and buy them and buy them. And I was cheap, so I buy from like the bargain bin and stuff. But I'm just all about the convenience. But I do know that if I have some extra cash, if I ever get some extra cash at some point, I'm just gonna be sinking into that, because I have like about 50 albums I want to actually have. Like I have like a list of albums. I'm like, I want to buy this one day, buy this one, buy this one. From all genres and stuff. Like one of my favorite albums I love listening to, which I did listen to on vinyl once, was actually a jazz album. You guys know Miles Davis?
Yeah.
Miles Davis, Kinda Blue.
Yeah.
Nice. Bitches Brews, another amazing album too. But some of that stuff, like some of those classics, it's almost like watching movies, right? Like when you get to watch like a classic movie and stuff, it's like, just to have that. Yeah. I really like that sort of thing, or even like albums that meant a lot to me, or things like that. Like I was almost this close with the Hybrid Theory 20th anniversary. I almost bought the whole box set, but I was like, I can't afford it.
How much was that? It would have been like 400 plus.
It was a lot, and then because you had all the different vinyls and all the bonus tracks, and they released it on Spotify anyway, and I was like, oh well, it's not the same, but it's it's there. So and it was real cool, because I used to try and find their demos back in the day on like LimeWire and shit.
Yeah, are you a big Linkin Park fan?
Oh yeah, huge. That was the band, man. Like back in when I was a teenager, that shit was huge, and like I loved it. Yeah, it was like it was popping off. It was so popular, and then no one had everything was just such a level up from so many other things at the time. Yeah. Because Linkin Park were like the band that managed to everyone calls like a gateway band, right? Yeah, yeah. But the reason why is because they made everything real seamless and smooth. Oh yeah. Because other like new metal bands, which are great, like Limp Bizkit and Korn, it's not quite as seamless. Yeah, like Korn has their sound, but it's definitely a bit rough, and it's a bit fucking like it's very polished.
Yeah, Linkin Park's a bit more like listenable sometimes. Yeah,
it's more polished. It's a bit more cleaned up, and the screaming is like screaming, but like it's not. It's not like heavy screaming.
Like sounds nice.
It's like the most beautiful type of fry scream.
Mm-hmm.
Chester's vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like buzzed out when they came back. I mean, I get it, but I'm also like, is it ever going to be the same? Should have called it something else, but it's my opinion. Some people, I mean, the new stuff's all good, but it's just like, I don't know, it's very hard to...
When you've been a big fan, it's hard to like...
Well, it's also when you've just had like, I don't know, it's hard for me to say. I'm not in the band, so, people should do what they like, and if that's what they enjoy, all power to them. But I guess the other big band, not that I was alive at this time, that there's something similar happened was... ACDC, because originally their singer was Bon Scott, but then he died, and then they changed the singer. But then Back in Black, is an amazing album with a new singer. Sounds similar, like close enough, I guess.
I mean, it's funny because like a lot of people. I mean, I don't really know. Like a lot of people in my family aren't really rock guys. But most people don't even know that ACDC had a new singer.
Yeah.
They just assume that it's just been the same band.
They do sound the same. Yeah. They do sound very similar. So I do understand that. But it's like with like a band of that stature that's so big, they're so established. I mean, it's almost like if Pantera is touring technically, without Dimebag, but I know it's it is. I don't know. It just depends, right? Like it's like.
I guess with bands,
can they pull it off?
Replacing a singer is so different than
a guitarist,
thing to replace.
Or a drummer.
I mean, even with like Slipknot, it's like 2 or 3 of the original members.
Yeah, it's crazy. Don't like. I think they've got Corey, they've got Jim,
Eloy.
and he wasn't even like originally got Craig Jones. They've got who else? Oh, Sid. I think he's still there. Mick Thompson, he's still there.
Yeah.
But I think obviously no Joey, no Paul, and then who else is left? God, I don't even know. I'm out of touch.
Yeah. I think because if they like replacing everyone else, it's technically you can always cover a guitar the same. Like you can always learn how they play. It won't be the same, but it'll be to most people's ears the same.
It's always the vocals.
Yeah.
The vocals are the big one that everyone resonates with. Yeah. And if the drumming's not quite up to scratch, Slipknot drumming is not easy, but what's the new guy's name? The Brazilian fella?
Eloy.
Eloy, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing a Slipknot set though is like a massive cardio workout.
Yeah.
You should get like one of the Apple Watch and see how many calories he burns. Be in the thousands. All that double kicking, fucking crazy shit. All right, sweet. What else have I got for you guys? Would you guys? What's another venue that you reckon is up and coming in the Auckland?
Double Whammy.
Double Whammy.
Yeah.
Double Whammy. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I
haven't been, so
I've
tell me
played
about
there
it.
once.
I know Whammy Bar, but
Yeah, Whammy Bar. Everyone knows, like, or most people know Whammy.
Yeah.
But that's like that. It's kind of closed off. Super nice seating everywhere. But like Double Whammy is like a proper big venue. There's 2 stages. It's a huge pit, so you can fit way more people in there. It has the same like vibe, but it's just there's not many shows because it's just opened up recently.
people don't know about it.
Yeah.
The sound on stage at Double Whammy is amazing.
Oh, you've played a gig there?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was fun.
Because they do all ages shows there now, right?
Do they?
I'm not sure. I think it's just Whammy. Whammy has all ages license,
Just Whammy.
but I don't think Double Whammy has just yet.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
No.
that's why we're doing. I mean, by the time this comes out,
Yeah,
I'm
by the
assuming
time
we'll
this
probably
comes
have
out.
announced.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
we have a show coming up on May 10th,
Mm.
and that's at Whammy, like a full manicky. That's not the right word.
Mannequin.
All ages and R18 show same night.
Yeah. We got
Cool.
like a day show and a night show. on the
Oh,
same
right.
day. Yeah.
Whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's like our first time sort of extending out from Big Fan
Yeah.
to trying to get. I mean, we're obviously known for Big Fan Beatdown.
Mm.
We've done 3 of them, but we're still technically Beatdown Events, so we're trying to branch out a little bit, get in a couple of other venues, get a couple of other gigs. So.
Nice. Would you guys always stick with doing like metal and stuff? Or would you guys ever like, branch out?
I guess we would see, but for me, like this is the stuff I like doing.
Yeah.
Like these are the shows that I like going to. So, yeah.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be metal, but like just the, I guess, rock scene in general. Like even our first show, the lineup was, we had Group Chat, we had Chlorine, Exit Sign, and it was Sprawl.
Sprawl.
Yeah, and Sprawl.
No, the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty diverse.
I think it was Sprawl. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that one was like really, it was a whole range of genres, and we like to try and get a range of genres because a lot of people like going to the same gig or like the same genre gig, but if you can get 3 or 4 different genres in one night, it's just such a good showcase.
It's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like, more, you don't get like fatigued of like hearing like a blast beat for like 3 hours. No, I think that's definitely the way to do it, for sure. Very good. What's the weirdest thing you guys have seen at gigs so far? Any standout stories? Standout moments? You're like, what the fuck's that?
Oh, I remember Cut Shapes played at the first one, and I remember they got the people in the mosh to do, what's it called? Duck Goose.
Nice.
Sitting down
I like that.
in
Cool.
the mosh and then running. It was so funny. There's some good photos of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was funny.
Not really I feel a bit weird saying this, but it wasn't. I was doing doors for a venue, and there was a girl who kind of, I guess, had too much tequila and also might have had some other stuff going on. But all of a sudden, like, she was like carried out of the venue, and then when she kind of came to her senses, like, she was like screaming, like, and this wasn't even a heavy show.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the most interesting things I've seen at one.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy when people like pass. Have you guys been to quite a few other like shows? I imagine like international acts and and all that. Yeah, they can get if it's not set up properly, like shit goes down. You know, not enough security and that and like dangerous stuff. I've seen people pass out left, right, and center.
Yeah, I remember seeing like blood on the floor once. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, in the mosh pits. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, I've seen people like you see some wild stuff. Like I had my chip tooth once, but that was it. I think it was at Limp Bizkit show in Australia. That was pretty.
Makes
gnarly.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. You guys seen the Woodstock '99 documentary? Seen all that? Yeah, I used to love watching that Limp Bizkit performance, but it is fucking ridiculous and scary. But like, I don't know. At the same time, like it's on the Woodstock organizers like charging that much money for like water and stuff. It's just like I don't know. Everyone's dehydrated and drunk when beer's cheaper than water. It's like, what do you think's
That's
gonna
a problem.
happen? What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the security guards at Woodstock, like, all they had to do was like fill out a form, say that they knew what they were doing. I don't think they got any training.
It's not like official security. Like you just see like people ripping off like plywood, and it's just like, nah, it's chill.
Yeah, I think even like with Woodstock, Limp Bizkit gets too much hate for it. Like
it's not just them though. It's
Yeah.
but also you get this like music festival that was made for peace and love. Because back in like Woodstock '69,
it's like
you know,
full
Jimi
hippie,
Hendrix,
like,
Santana, like it's all meant to be about peace and love and tripping out, man.
Yeah.
But then it's suddenly because they had the '94 one, which had like Green Day. You seen those performances? And it's all like muddy and crazy. But that was obviously like different vibe. And then they get all these like angsty ass heavy.
Yeah, the lineup was
Korn,
crazy.
Seven Dust, Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock. Like when Kid Rock was actually like nu metal at the time, which is very funny.
I mean, as well, like it's not even just the bands, because you're like deliberately getting a target audience of people that are like angry, people that want to, have that teenage angst, and then like it was at a time where a lot of people had anger built up, and so that a huge scale festival with thousands of people that have this anger to be like used. And you give them no other way to, or you give them a perfect way to use it, they're going to use it.
I think it was at 250,000 people at Woodstock '99. Let me check.
Something like that.
Let me have a look. I'll look it up right now and let's confirm. Because I believe it was, let's see.
I mean, I think even, was it the Chili Peppers that handed out candles?
Yeah, that was also
Yeah.
cheap. Okay, there we go. Yes, 400,000 attendees.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think you would go if you like could go back in time? And
Hell yeah.
Really?
I would.
Yeah.
No, I'd go. 100%.
Would you like stay out of the mosh for Limp Bizkit? Or would you?
Depends how young I am. But I probably would though. If I knew that was going to happen, I'd stay out of it.
Yeah.
If I didn't know it was going to happen, I'd be in the mosh. But then I feel like it looks. I'd probably see like if I saw something fucked up, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck, and then I'd probably just be like, this is dangerous.
I feel
It's like that meme of like, what's that guy Ralph from The Simpsons? I'm scared.
I feel like at a point though, when there's like, there's 400,000 people, there's multiple stages. But if there's like 100,000 people in a pit, and you're in the middle, like
There's no escaping.
You can't. Yeah.
you kind of have to make a decision. Like, am I going to spend 20 minutes walking out of this or just stay put? Like,
yeah. It's but I guess it's just like there's nothing. It's one of those things. It's such a historical event. It's like, would you go to it? But you have the knowledge of all the fucked shit that happened, so it's like,
I feel
no. But if I didn't know, probably would go.
Yeah. If I had the knowledge, I would like know how to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'd be on the outskirts somewhere just so you can watch it, right? But it was just the lineup was insane. There's so many bands. Like Metallica played there as well.
Yeah.
Like no, there's so many. Is that the lineup? Let's bring up a lineup since we're on the
Pretty
subject.
sure the Offspring
lineup.
played as
Offspring,
well.
Offspring
played.
Yeah, let's bring this up since we're on the subject because I know that it was huge. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there's a lot of bands I don't know on here. Oh, Lit, they played. Wow. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, Buck Cherry, the Roots. Damn, the Roots playing. There's an insane clown posse. George Clinton.
Oh my.
Very good. George Clinton, probably the most sampled artist of all time. Do you guys know George Clinton? He's a funk artist from the States, but he does like a lot of instrumental kind of like funk music. He's a guitarist, singer-songwriter. But all those hip hop guys back in the day used to just like
Sample all
just
the stuff.
sample the living shit out of him. But yeah, he's amazing. Oh, yep, Chemical Brothers.
Oh,
Sure, they were
Damn.
there. Chemical Brothers. I'm just gonna call out big names. Everclear. Wow. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. What's that? So some of these I don't know. And then so many stages. Yeah. Ice Cube, Godsmack, Megadeth, Seven Dust.
yeah.
And then let's Sugar Ray, Jamiroquai,
Oh.
Sheryl Crow, DMX, Offspring, Korn, Bush. Do you guys know Bush?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
grunge
Glistener.
band.
Bush was actually, I remember seeing the documentary. They were actually like meant to calm the crowd down because I think
Yeah.
they played, was it after Limp Bizkit or
After
Korn?
Korn, yeah,
Yeah,
after
after
Korn,
Korn.
yeah.
And they were meant to calm it down, but it didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah, Kid Rock, Counting Crows, Dave Matthews Band, Alanis Morissette. I did not know this. Limp Bizkit went on after Alanis Morissette. That is what a change up.
Wait, who actually played last? Was it?
On
think
the
it was Peppers.
Chili Peppers.
on the last day.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
Chili Peppers. Yeah. Rage Against the Machine. Forgot about them.
Oh,
That was another
yeah.
big set.
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine, and then Metallica, of course. Al Green. Al
Al
Green.
Green.
Al Green is the next day.
And I guess they were bringing back that like
yeah,
70s
yes,
vibe, right?
yeah. So then Willie Nelson,
Oh my goodness.
Brian Setzer Orchestra. I've heard of Everlast. Oh, Everlast. Yeah, do you guys know Everlast?
Mm.
Yeah. Right. Elvis Costello, Jewel, Creed,
Bro,
and then Chili Peppers.
I'm
Man,
a
that
huge
lineup
Creed
is crazy. Yeah, they've made a hell of a comeback. Wow.
genuinely,
That's
I've seen them touring, and
What
like
lineup?
right now it's all in States. But if they ever come here, like I don't drink beer, but I would drink beer in that
Yeah.
pit.
You can feel that divorced dad energy. You can sympathize with them. Yeah, their music videos are pretty epic. I will say that. They cringe me out, but man, they've kind of they really set their place in history. You know, it's funny seeing them have a comeback. I cannot begin to tell you guys how much they were hated when I was
Yeah,
younger.
I've heard.
Yeah, and Nickelback was another one.
Mm.
Even Linkin Park. Like, Linkin Park was loved and hated because metalheads were like, ooh, yuck, why are you rapping and all
Yeah.
this shit? And then it became like... And then it went too pop and everyone was like, what's going on here? And then now they've kind of gotten a bit back. But it's funny, like, everything comes in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Hybrid Theory and Meteor are just the best two albums.
Go today.
Yeah, just
Absolutely
definitely.
go to tens.
Probably
yeah.
even argue all time. Like for Hybrid Theory, that's
Yeah.
It's just so good,
Genuinely
It's just
impactful,
yeah. Yeah, it's very impactful. Yeah, and like the thing was that they just did it better than everybody else. There was so many bands of the 90s that were trying to do that, and there's all different versions of it. Some are a bit rougher. I think one of the earliest versions of like trying to get the metal with the rap was Anthrax and Public Enemy. Have you guys heard that one? Bring the Noise. That's fucking
Yeah.
cool. But like that was like one of the first ones, but they also got heaps of shit because no one was, metal and hip hop, for a long time were
Yeah.
completely separate. So it's interesting, and then you obviously got Deftones are kind of dabbled in it, and then obviously Korn, and then the guitaring in Korn was almost, and Rage Against the Machine, you could say, like not
Yeah.
really nu metal, but the guitar style was completely different. Tom Morello is amazing. I think that band could have done a lot better if they released more material.
Mm.
They also didn't last. They lasted 91 to like 2000, I think.
I
2001.
think they did make a comeback during COVID, but then
But it's not releasing new music
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's just the same.
Yeah.
That's their material. But like at the time, I don't think Tom Morello. I saw an interview that he made. That he spoke about like a lot of the record industry wanted them to make more music, but they have these breaks. So then all these other bands came out and like copied them. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I think that's a bit of a cocky thing to say. He's like, they were just waiting on us. But
I mean, at the same time, Audio Slave was like during that 2000s era, and it was the
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
same band with the
Yeah.
different vocalists.
yeah,
But-
they were amazing. Audio
They
Slave is
are-
real
they're
cool.
So good. They don't
Yeah.
get enough love, genuinely.
Nah, I like them a lot too. But Tom Morello's guitar style, like say what you want, it's one of the most unique, and it changed the game of guitarists like forever. Like there was just completely different thinking. Like, and his setup was weird.
I mean, there's points where I don't even I get confused listening to his songs. Like some of his solos are a bit interesting, but his genuine guitar playing is so good.
yeah. Well, it was trying to like be like a DJ. You know, that was the whole thing. Because I remember the first time I listened to the album and I was like, oh wow, it sounds like they've got like samples on here and that, but it's not. It's all just guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. And then you're like, what? It's amazing that you can do that. That's what blew my mind the most about, like, especially that first album, which I think is a 10. Self-Titled Rage, such a good album. Sure. Yeah, but like no one just had that thinking, like, to, you know, you reapproached your instrument completely different, especially coming out of the 80s and stuff, which was all just like massive solos and like cheesy glam metal shit. So
I guess,
and then grunge was just like, you know, I don't care, just like, you know, like whatever, which is also cool in its own way, but it's
killed
like
that glam metal,
it, it just died. It was brutal. But that's the thing though, like with those trends, like they, you know, 5 or 10 years at most, you know, and then people get over it. Happens a lot. Like even like with pop music, like you know, when for me, like the dance music stuff, like like Calvin Harris and a lot of that stuff was huge. Who talks about him now?
Yeah.
Genuinely, I love Calvin Harris, but I wouldn't recognize him on the street. And I feel bad to say, but
same.
But it's just so big, right? Like such a like big artist name, but yeah, would you recognize them? It's interesting who's like Ed Sheeran's still very say like Taylor Swift, which I find like quite interesting. Like they've lasted like this long, because Taylor Swift released her first album when I was in high school, like a while ago. You know, she's been around for a minute, and so is Ed Sheeran too.
Yeah.
So I buzz out like who gets the longevity, you know,
I'd
like
say
who
Taylor
can survive.
Swift and Ed Sheeran are like the longest lasting like pop artists.
Justin Bieber would be, but he kind of, I don't know, I don't know if he went off the rails or whatever, but
I think he just like took a break, kind of didn't want to be in the spotlight for a bit, and then just kind of released a couple songs now and then, but never any big projects.
Yeah. It's like also down to the music industry of who they want to, you know, peddle, essentially. So, because now we've got like, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Chaperone. Who else is big right now? Tell me, guys. You're the young. You got the ear to the floor. You know, let me know what's happening.
And like pop,
and pop, or just what's big right now in the music world.
I mean, low-key, a lot of old bands are making a comeback. Like,
let's not think about old bands. Let's think about new bands. Like last 5 years or so. Last 5 years.
Oh. That's the thing. I can't like. I mean, I know that there are new big bands, but I feel like at least so many of the people that like I know is like everyone's into the 90s and like the
early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
I think part of it is that none of them actually come to New Zealand as well, so we can't see them ever.
Yeah.
But
or is that a little bit too far? But there's no like standard. Okay, well let's broaden this out. More artists as well. It could be like solo artists or singer-songwriters as well as just bands. It doesn't have to just be bands.
Actually, I came across. I don't even know what it counts as, but I came across this guy called Wells Music, and he's kind of like country, like Bob Dylan vibe, but like also rock and punk.
Okay.
And so he has like that whole setup. He has a kazoo here, he has a guitar, but like it's full, like all his songs, like protest songs, that sort of stuff. And I genuinely just came across a video and I was like, damn, this is cool. And then I found out, like, I think he's been around for like 2 or 3 years, but he's released like 5 albums, 60 songs, and they're all the same level. But yeah, I reckon he's gonna make a pretty big break, because he just has an insane drive.
What was his name again?
Oh, like Wells music.
Oh, check it out. Yeah, I need some new music to add to my. Yeah, always look on the lookout, eh? But yeah, it can be like tricky now, I suppose. Like for a new artist, it's so competitive. Like to try and get you, because everyone's. I mean, how many songs uploaded on Spotify every day? Something crazy, like 1 million or something. So
I guess it's partly the content creation as well. Like,
you got to be like. It's like anything now. It's like you're an influencer doing X thing. It's not like I'm a musician or I'm a business owner or I'm a promoter. I mean, for you guys as well, it's like depending on what you want to do, it'll be like we are content creators who are gig promoters. It's very weird, but like that's kind of the way to get your name and promote yourself. I mean, it's both great and bad because it's like everyone has a chance to try and it's free. You know, you're not like, you know, back in the day, it's all down to like, you know, if it's a label or like a big TV network or the newspaper, you know. So traditional media was very restrictive in that sense. Not everybody can go and do it, whereas now it is possible, but that means everybody can do it. So you got to find a way, man. Cool. Any are you gonna get any sponsors for your gigs?
Well, that would be nice. But...
That would be nice.
Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, kind of. That's actually a good point. We could probably hit some people up.
Yeah.
Hit some businesses up, see if they want to sponsor, do a little get in touch with the scene they haven't really done before.
Yeah. An energy drink one would be good. So
yeah.
so stereotypical, but if you
Yeah.
can find one, that'd be
Like
be good.
Monster or something.
Yeah, or just like a New Zealand version of that. We got our own. Is that New Zealand? I'm not sure.
I think that might be American.
Maybe it's
I think
American.
it's American.
Yeah.
Is there any New Zealand energy drink?
Forgot about
V.
Yeah.
Is V New Zealand?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Kiwi.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
New Zealand.
V.
Yeah,
V
V's
would
New
actually be
Zealand.
perfect,
Oh,
yeah.
Live Plus. There we go, guys.
Oh,
there we
perfect.
go.
You're doing that work for us.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta get on those DMs, you know. Watch out, V Live Plus. Here we come. Yeah, that's it. But that's the thing. You guys could do it, especially all ages shows. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Plus,
And
it wouldn't even be that huge, just provide the drinks,
couple, yeah, and
have your branding on the poster.
Yeah.
Wouldn't, you don't have to contribute much. Maybe just
Mm.
even have a name, maybe contribute a little bit.
Yeah.
It's only small scale, so it probably wouldn't cost them too much, but still gets their name out there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well with these little events and little pockets of the scene or whatever it may be. There is actually a lot of opportunity. But everyone's like, oh, it's all about numbers and whatever. But it's if you actually plant the seed well, it's sort of like Red Bull did that. I think with a lot of EDM music and raves and that back in the day. But now they're all about extreme sports now. That's their whole thing. So trying to find their market, which has worked out very well for them. Red Bull's page is just Red Bull Sports. It's not the drink is
Yeah,
yeah.
when I think of Red Bull, I just think of sports.
Yeah, you just think of sports, right? Crazy things.
Came across a video and it was just people jumping over the craziest things, and there's a plane, an island, a town.
Yeah, it's look at all this cool shit. It's not even about the drink. Yeah, if we can do that, people remember it, we're talking about it. So, kudos to them. Doing well. What's the other one that, not energy drink, what's another one that's got real, out the gate marketing? Is it Duolingo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They do, real out the gate, weird marketing stuff last time I checked with, their big mascot, at a party or something. Is this a language app? What's happening?
Yeah, I do see a lot of Duolingo ads.
Yeah.
There was one I was talking about. I can't actually remember it. But I just remember it being a very memorable ad because it was really weird. It might have been Afterpay, actually.
Got it Afterpay.
Or Uber Eats, one of them. But it was just it was just insanely weird.
Right.
But it kept in your mind.
Yeah. Well, that's how you can do it, eh? Yeah.
Or the McDonald's ads with the really sad backstories. Have you seen those ones?
Oh, yeah, I have actually. I haven't thought about those in a while. Yeah. Yeah, and it's you guys, it's you guys are a fast food chain, you're not helping. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I think one of my favorite guys I like to watch is, he's blowing up a lot at the moment, is that, I think that Chinese fella who will take really cringe videos, and then at the end he's screw that, check out my LED signs. Have you seen that guy? Oh, Link, it's good. He's blown himself up just from taking kind of cringy TikToks or Instagram videos, and then just being oh, and then he'll just completely change it and then promote his LED sign company. I'm what a G. Yeah. Went on you guys know iShowSpeed and all those guys? Yeah. Guys, that's also something crazy, is the streaming stuff. It's so big.
I mean, I didn't even realize how big he was. I knew he was huge, but then he travels across the world. Everyone just chases him. Even when he came here,
when
it
he
was
came
insane.
here, it was crazy.
I know, it's just a streamer, Yeah, he's he went with all the sports teams. Went to City Kickboxing, UFC guys, and then went off the rugby team, and it's just.
He went to the Sky Tower.
Went up the Sky Tower.
And it was just I saw videos of all the kids and just all the
chasing him.
Just even in Sky City, they had so much security just to keep people out.
Yeah, just a guy who streams. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just so bizarre. And then he's on 24. It's just, I can't imagine being on 24 hours a day because they just don't stop. It's just such a strange concept, but people love it, right? It's people really want. Have you guys seen The Truman Show?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. It's just you're always on, And then people act around you, but the camera's always on. I guess the camera's on, so That's the difference. Sorry for the spoilers who hasn't watched that movie, but yeah. But yeah, it's just like strange world. All right, guys. Maybe we'll do some quickfire questions, and then we'll unless there's anything else you want to touch on before we move to near the end.
I guess the topic is probably just like venues, maybe.
Venues? Yeah. Let's go.
Like with venues, a lot of them being shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Because like,
obviously
DIY. We've been using like a lot of, not us, but Auckland's been using a lot of council venues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But recently they have had like the 10 p.m. curfew. They've shut down quite a bit, and so I guess most people in the scene have been saying it, but like just respect the venues.
Yeah, just like follow what the venues tell you to do. Like, you don't want to.
It's like people doing things that cause them to shut down. You mean? Okay, got you.
We don't want to like lose any like loved venues in Auckland. Yeah.
Yeah, that raises a good point. I mean, I don't go to enough venues at the moment to really know. I just hear about one shutting down and I get real sad about it. But I thought that was mainly because there's not enough like people going. But is it actually more because of like dangerous activity and shit like that?
I think for Grey Lynn, the main reason not Grey Lynn, Old Folks.
Oh, Old Folks Home. Yeah.
I think the main reason that one shut down is because like people were like punching out the walls. And then there was a Stone show that I went to like last year. Someone broke a gas pipe outside.
Oh, okay.
And like a full fire truck had to come in. Like we were all told like everyone outside the venue, everyone inside the venue, there's gas outside. Like so I think they kind of stopped renting it out mainly after that. I think that like there was a couple, but a lot of places are very like wary now to renting out.
Yeah.
Obviously big fans like a proper venue.
Yeah.
But it does come with like a higher price, so you need to know that you have an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whereas you like that lower tier, maybe you don't have as much audience or whatever it may be.
Like the full DIY.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like, I think people do take advantage of, like we are very lucky that we can put on these shows and people can come to these things, Unfortunately, it doesn't take much for them to maybe disappear, and then there's nothing. So, that's a good point.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, there's also like what's the one in like the community hall, like the
Grey Lynn.
There's this Grey Lynn community hall, the one by the zoo, right? That one.
Oh, that's Western Springs.
Oh, Western Springs. Yeah, that's another one I see have shows on sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it won't. Yeah, especially for alternative music, there's already a bit of a stigma. So you know, it's like try and not lean into that of destroying shit. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess one thing, because it's interesting because all ages shows, like, people can get crazy, but there is, technically no alcohol, but kids will find things, I suppose. But I know that, like, at bars and that, like, it can be similar. I guess you guys are a bit young for King's Arms. Yeah, a bit young for that, because that was, like, the shit. That was, like, the big one everyone would put shows on, and it was, not all ages, but, like, it was just, like, a good sized venue where like they give you like some deals. It wasn't overly expensive to hire. You can have a reasonable crowd to fill it out or not even. So yeah, it's a shame that went, but yeah, it's a long time ago now. But yeah, it doesn't take much, guys, for venues to go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. We got to keep the ones we have.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, well, now let's move into the quickfires then.
Okay.
First question. What is a genre of music you can just not listen to? You can't stand. Let's start off negative.
I'm just going to say, like, mainstream pop.
Mainstream pop? What's mainstream pop?
Oh, just, like...
Say some names.
I don't like...
No, you don't have to.
Just, I don't know. Just, like, some of those, like, TikTok pop artists.
Okay, right.
That are, like... I mean, everyone can listen to what they love, No, like, I'm no judgment or anything. I just, like, sometimes I see some things on TikTok and I'm like, ooh.
What's the sound you're talking about? Because mainstream pop means a lot of things to a lot of people.
Oh,
so
yeah.
What's the sound we're talking about here?
I guess just, like Sabrina Carpenter kind of vibes, that kind of thing.
Okay, don't like Sabrina Carpenter. Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if it counts as a genre, but, like, I'm gonna say it, and if it isn't a genre, people will understand anyway. Like millennial, rock.
Oh,
If that makes sense.
what are you trying to say, man?
No, but like,
no, which one? Tell me.
like there's a lot of it like popping up on online, and it'll be
Is it like pop punk, or is it like
it's like
I know what you mean.
it's like they're trying to copy like that.
Arctic Monkeys?
Nah, not like established artists that are
They're like-
millennials now. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's more like millennials that are trying to get into music, and then they're copying a style. Like, I saw this band that was trying to copy Evanescence, but they just weren't good.
Yeah.
And then some people were like trying to be Eminem,
Yeah.
like trying to recreate Eminem's
Yeah.
vibe, like that. You know, that whole fast
Yeah,
rapping.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what makes it good if I rap fast. Like, but yeah, it's kind of a blanket term. Like,
The millennial rock, the millennial cringe. That's funny. Yeah, there are quite a few. Now that I think about it, there is a lot of like trying to rehash like a lot of stuff that was done, and it's like people being like, "I love this music. I'm just gonna make exactly that."
Yeah.
No, I understand. That's funny. Yeah, fair enough. All right. What is what is a local band at the moment that people should check out? Name one. Has to be one.
Okay. Well.
between us,
Yeah, one each.
Oh,
one
one
each.
each. Well, I would say Sprawl.
It's Brawl. Bias, yeah.
genuinely, I mean, they didn't have any music, so I don't know if you can say check out, but I did doors for a show for them. They're called Rancho Mirage,
Okay.
and
Rancho Mirage.
they had like this full like Soundgarden vibe, and they were genuinely really good, but they just haven't had. They've done like a couple shows, and so whenever they do get a show, go to it because they're genuinely like a sound that wowed me.
And
To my
also Cabinet. Have you seen Cabinet? I love Cabinet. They don't have any songs out yet, but I saw them the other day. They're just like amazing. I love them so much. Yeah.
Cool. What else have I got? What else can I pull out of thin air? I can think of it right now. What's been the hardest part about organizing shows for you guys? Challenges.
I mean, what I can think of for now is like just the rush, like from because there's a whole sequence to organizing a show. You probably know, like you have to get the bands, then you have to make a poster, get the tickets sorted, promote, and then there's a whole lead up where everything needs to get sorted. But we've been pretty bad, not like because of purpose, but we've had this year we've organized quite a few shows pretty fast, and so it's been like a bit of a rush. Like
Yeah.
we've done it, but yeah,
Sometimes it gets a bit like busy,
yeah.
Right.
but I feel like we handle it pretty well.
It's overwhelming to make
Yeah.
sure all the pieces of the puzzle are done. Yeah.
We make like a checklist to make sure
Yeah.
we didn't miss anything.
Bring
off.
out the checklist. It's important. You got to do it, man. Yeah, that's good. It's good. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's also nice, like I say on here, it's even like something like Dougfest and having people who aren't like kind of like a bit detached from like being in a band or something. Like, oh, you guys are in music, but when you organize shows, like your band doesn't always play.
Yeah.
So I think people do appreciate that, having someone outside of it organizing, because it can be like when you're trying to organize your own show and then turns out you're organizing everyone else's show. Just like shit. And it's a lot to get together. So I understand that. Okay. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Nice.
Star Wars.
You guys can stay.
I was such a Star Wars kid, man.
Yeah. I mean, I still am.
like,
Obviously.
My nana had a VCR. All the old school, like the prequels, all of them. I used to watch them all the time. I was like,
Yeah, I've recently just been rewatching all of them actually.
Yeah, 20th anniversary of episode 3 is happening right now. Yeah, so I'm going to the movies soon to watch that. It's going to be sick.
even Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star
that game,
Wars?
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite game like ever. Just
Slaps.
yeah.
That's good. Good answers. All right, since we talked about this before, what's the best energy drink?
Oh, Monster.
Monster.
White Monster.
White Monster.
White-
That's a hell of a meme, isn't it?
Favorite.
Yeah.
I would say Mango Monster.
Mango Monster.
Mango Loco. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Interesting. Yeah. Why? What's so appealing about Monster?
Just a taste.
I just love the taste.
Love the taste.
I don't know. I just
That's
like it.
Yeah, no, fair. Post gig food. What are you guys eating after a gig?
Whatever's open, so maybe Macca's.
Macca's, that's
Yeah,
it.
usually Macca's.
Macca's.
Yeah.
Not gonna go like save